Aloha Sharks fans, welcome back to another episode of Sharks Weekly. Your look into Hawaii Pacific University athletics, right here on Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. We're live from HPU Esports Arena, powered by DSC Hawaii, breaking down all things HPU softball today. And if you've been following this team, you know they're coming in hot. They've taken down number 15th nationally ranked Cal State Dominguez Hills, split a series with number 25 Cal State San Marcos, and they're sitting at a 6-7 record, ready to roll into Pac-West Conference play. Their roster is built for competition. 22 players, 8 seniors bringing the leadership, and 6 freshmen already making their mark. Joining us today is HPU softball head coach Jarnett Lono, alongside 3 players who have been stepping up big this season: graduate student Hoku Ching, senior Marissa Marshall, and freshman Taryn Hirano. First, big shout out to our in-studio producer Paul Breck, making sure everything sounds good. How are you doing today, Paul?
I'm doing well, excited. I posted on my social medias. This is one of my favorite programs whenever they join the show, mostly because of their humor in the past. We'll see if this group can stand up to those high standards, but I'm excited for today.
Me too.
Nice. Thanks, Paul.
And as always, we want to hear from you. Please text your questions in to 808-888-5481, and we'll try to get to as many throughout the show. Coach, let's start with the big one. You guys took down a nationally ranked number 15 Cal State Dominguez Hills squad. That's a statement win. What did the game show you about this team?
Guts, resiliency, and that hard work and effort will pay off. We never told them that Cal State Dominguez Hills was ranked. All I told them that was, this is the only win I actually want this weekend. And so from the very start, they knew how much I wanted this win. And not just because they were ranked, but because of the history we have with that school, with that program, and also with the coaching staff. So, they got out in front early, and it was starting to look like they were going to really rump us. But the girls fought back. Every inning, they put one more on the board, played solid defense. We may have given up a hit or 2 here or there, but we answered right back.
And that seems to be a theme for your team this year, coming back against all odds. Well, and then you guys traveled to San Marcos and split a series with them. What does that help prepare you guys coming into conference play?
The CCA conference, it's no joke. I mean, they have probably the best environment to play competitive collegiate softball, and they're in those types of games all the time. So San Marcos 3 years ago, they were in the national finals. The following year, Dominguez Hills was there, and then last year, Western Washington, who we're going to compete against this weekend. So it shows that the competition in Southern California, you've got to be at your best all the time when facing them, because they will take advantage of whatever mistakes or little things that we failed to do. I think for the team, it's looking pretty good. The outlook for them is showing that they can overcome any odds that they're faced with, and that they have a little bit of fight in all of them.
Definitely. And seeing you guys this past weekend, your guys' fight was just amazing. And Hoku, you've been on this team for 5 years now, right? How does this year's squad compare to past years in terms of chemistry, energy, and just overall?
In terms of chemistry, I feel like this team now, we just blend so well together, because as I feel like for the freshmen, they have that comfortability to come and talk to us as seniors, and they're not scared to talk to us. They're not scared to ask us questions, and they do give us a good challenge as seniors. They don't let us we don't have a starting position on the field nowhere, so I feel like that also adds to the camaraderie and the togetherness that this team squad has.
And Taryn, you're a freshman, right? From
Yes.
Mililani. Let's talk about the start of your season. You're hitting a .458, slugging .795, and you've already had 7 stolen bases. What's just clicking for you offensively?
I think I'm just really trusting the process and all the hard work that I've put on throughout these years, and just having a lot of confidence in the plate. helps a lot, and knowing that the people behind me, even if I fail, they're there to pick me up if I do.
And you, Marissa, being a senior, right? How does that look like supporting your freshmen?
Honestly, there's so much competition on this team, but I think like supporting the freshmen, I love like knowing I can count on the whole lineup to do their job. And I feel like putting this trust in just all my teammates, no matter like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, like I'm just proud of everyone and like doing their job and getting the thing done so that we can win.
And you can definitely see it when you guys play, that just energy and that vibes. It's just contagious. And you guys have us all sitting on the edge of our seats when we're watching you. So my other question, you transferred in from South Carolina State.
Yes.
How's that transition been, and what's been the biggest difference between playing there and now playing here?
Transferring, honestly, like I'm like really happy I did it. I met Shorty and immediately like I was very nervous last year coming in because it's hard to like put on these shoes and try and like, you know, like I don't know, like make something of yourself to somebody you've never met before, like. And so coming in last year, I didn't perform the way I wanted to, but I'm very comfortable with Shorty now, and I think the adjustment, the team dynamics, the culture here, I love it. I mean, we are like such a family here, and I really like put my trust in like everybody, and I really love it here, to be honest. I love South Carolina, but I really love the Hawaii culture.
So what have you guys as a team, and Coach, you can answer this as well, done off the field in order to get that culture that you guys have been looking for? Marissa.
We did a lot of community service, and we also go support other teams. Like our whole team will like go to other games, and like just like being around each other, like we bond just so well. I can't even like describe it. Like just we click, if that makes sense. And we did a lot of the community service actually.
And there's more to come.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
What are some events that you're looking at doing with your players?
I think
Coach?
the one we have coming up next is at Kahumanu Elementary. It's actually Hoku's elementary school, but Jade's mom is also a teacher there. And then my good friend is the Po'okumu, the principal. So it's a nice little connection for us to give back to the elementary students. And they have 2 activities planned for us, one more of a reading assignment and one like a physical activity so that the girls can get them active.
That's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
You were very hesitant about that.
No, it's been a while since I've been back there. I really wanted to see like one of my teachers, but she just retired like last month. And I was like, no.
That's why we were going there.
Yes, I know. And like we were gonna read to the kindergarten teachers, but now she's gone.
I'm sure she'll come back for that day.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
hope.
Well, and you guys also did that softball foundation, right? You guys did a couple clinics with that. How was that?
That was so fun. So we got to work with like ages from 8 to 15, like
16, 17.
16, 17. So I got to work with the younger group. Those kids were so cute. The best things ever. I love them. They would listen. I don't know how it was on the older girls' side, but it was like cute for them to learn and like do everything that we would do and like have fun doing it. And it's like I want to have them to have fun playing softball so they could, one day come to HPU maybe.
And Hoku, I keep hearing your teammates call you coach. Is that something that you're looking forward to in the future? Maybe a possibility?
So crazy thing is I was a coach like the first day of practice.
Oh, that's
yeah. But yeah, so hopefully, I'll be here for my master's, finishing my master's. Maybe I'll come back, help them next year in the fall and in the spring. So we'll see.
That sounds like a great plan.
Just sign the line. We'll sign her up now.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm going to cue to take a commercial break. Before we go, Hawaii Pacific University Athletics is sponsored by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union. Life matters, money matters, members matter. We'll be right back with more Sharks Weekly on a Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Sharks Weekly on Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. If you're just tuning in, we've got Coach Lono, Hoku Ching, Marissa Marshall and Taryn Hirano with us talking everything HPU softball. Coach, you've got 8 seniors and 6 freshmen. How does that balance of leadership and new energy shape that team's identity?
I think the balance, of course, is the development we've had with the seniors and the upperclassmen all these years. You know, they pretty much facilitate the culture that they want to see. So they model those types of behaviors that they expect of the underclassmen and those who are coming to the program. It's not me. Really, it's not.
As a senior, Hoku, what are some of those expectations that you put on the freshmen?
I think not just showing up, but also showing out, because I want them to know that, like, as a senior, I'm not getting that starting position. I want them to try to beat me out for it, to play at their best, be their best, and, like, just to play softball, like, how they know.
And how do you keep the younger players locked in? Sometimes I'm sure they get distracted coming in from high school, right? It's a big transition. Going to classes, kind of like more on your own pace. And as a senior, I'm sure they look to you for a lot of guidance.
Yes. So, like, we always, at the beginning, Shorty would, like, assign us a mentor and a mentee. So us seniors and, like, upperclassmen would have a freshman. And every week we try to, like, keep in contact with them. Like, how are your grades? How is this? Because we always want, like, student before athlete, right? Mm-hmm. So got to make sure they're up, like, in what's
in their studies.
Yeah, they're doing everything, yeah. But yeah, yes, and yeah, just making sure that they know that student comes before athlete, because without that degree, what can you do?
Exactly, and that's why you guys are here, right? You guys are here to get your degree and do something that you love. So Marissa, who was your mentee? Who were you mentoring?
My mentor or my mentee is Lauren. Mm-hmm. She's also a psychology major, and she plays third base also. So it's fun because I not only get to push her in the classroom, but I also get to push her on the softball field at third base.
And when you say push, we're not talking like
No, I just kick her at third.
Oh, great.
Just kidding, no.
We're getting a ton of texts over here, so I am going to start to jump in a little bit. I apologize. I'm going to put it actually back on Hoku real fast, because we got multiple questions asking about year 5 and coming back for year 5 and a decision to be back, what inspired you, and what it means to you to be back to play another year of college softball.
Very fortunate, I would say, to get this 5th year. Not a lot of people can get it. I like the one thing that drove me to take this 5th year was the girls, especially the seniors, Taylor, Ari, Jewel. Gotta mention all of them because I know they're probably texting right now. The coaches, the program, like, I really bought into it, and that's what inspired me to take this 5th year, for sure.
And I apologize to our texted questions. I did not actually read it correctly. It was actually, Hoku, what made you come back for your 10th year, not your 5th year? So
hey,
my apologies. No, but that's wonderful, and it's really cool to have that type of experience, I'm sure, leading your team, because there's a few like that, Coach. And when you get a player like a Taryn who comes in, a local girl who had a nice high school career, it's nice to be able to mix in, that old with the new, and have the generations collide, right?
Absolutely. And you put it. You said you couldn't have said it any better than I would have tried to or attempted to. It's a nice little mix that we have with the senior class who's going to be exiting soon, and the freshmen that we've brought in. There's a cohesiveness about it. There's like a nice natural blend to it also. Yeah, thank you.
And then I will give it right back to you, Bailey, I promise. But like I said, text questions flying on in, and if you want to get any more in, the number is 808-888-5481 to get a question in to our ladies here in studio. But Taryn, it was also asked kind of what the decision was like to come to HPU, right? You had a successful high school career, and you end up staying home. You stay with the Sharks, and you try and help build with what they're already building here. What was that decision-making process like for you?
Well, I knew I always wanted to stay home. Like, there was some part of me that some part of my heart that always tugged on staying home. And I'm so glad that I did. I love staying home. Like, the only thing I hate is the drive, like 5 minute compared to a 30-minute. Don't get me wrong, but I love it here. I grew up, my cousin played at HPU softball, and growing up just watching them, I just love the chemistry and the way that they played. I knew that being a Shark would be a good decision.
Shout out to Tiana Quintero Cavello, her first cousin.
Yeah.
Big time bloodlines in this HPU program, huh?
definitely, yeah.
Also played shortstop. Also was a lefty.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess going off of that, what's been your biggest adjustment from high school playing to college?
Definitely in the classroom more. It's very more hands-on, I guess. Like, I have to try a little harder. Actually, like, pay attention.
Oh boy.
Just really focusing in on my studies is the biggest change. Softball, it's just playing the game that you love, nothing really different.
And I guess this is an open question for all of you guys. I want to know, who's the loudest person in the dugout?
Right now, somebody's puffing their chest going, me.
Me. Not me. I would say Taylor. She's very like that energy starter. And then we also have our sophomore Jade. She like starts all like every cheer. I'm telling you, she would like look back at us and be like, "Should I start this one?" I'm like, "Go girl, start it. Just do it. Don't ask, do it."
You guys got some great cheers too. They're kind of intimidating sometimes as well. Walk-up songs. Taylor's walk-up song. I love it, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hoku, what went into you picking your walk-up song?
What is it?
It's Justin Bieber.
Oh, yeah.
Never Say Never. Love Justin Bieber. That's obviously. What's the other one? Oh, a local song, Reggae Party. I just chose it because it had a good beat at the beginning, and I was like, oh, it'll feel good walking into the up to bat, and it's
Yeah.
a good song.
What about you, Taryn?
So I wanted one local song and one like cool song, I guess. And I like my walk-up songs to be kind of like not just any song, kind of like I worked for this. This is where I'm supposed to be. I worked hard to be in this position, and just picking my walk-up songs based on that.
And if you haven't seen the video of Taryn getting ready for games, please go to our Instagram and see how she gets ready.
Is that why we got this text in for Taryn talking about superstitions and whatnot?
Yeah.
Is she
It is.
superstition? Yeah, Taryn, what is your superstition? Actually, I think it was the first text we got in today.
It's not a superstition. It's just everything I do is in the same order. I mean, like, it's not like, okay, I guess it kind of is.
Sounds superstitious to me.
But like everything, starting from my clothes to my deodorant to my hair to my visor, everything has to be in the same order.
What is that order?
I got it.
Go check the
okay.
Instagram.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
just-
I'll go watch
She
it
went
later.
back 3 times.
3 times?
yeah.
And what's the Instagram? What is it? HPU
Underscore
softball. Yeah, go check that out on its social media, folks. It's a good watch.
What about you, Marissa? What goes into your walk-up song choice?
Okay, so this year, I wanted to just be my silly self, and sorry for everyone watching, but I always wanted a brother is my walk-up song this year because it's catchy. It was trending on TikTok actually, but now it's the only thing I sing now. So
She hasn't watched the movie.
I was gonna say.
Marissa knows every word to the song.
I was gonna say I have also been getting into that song, and I was like, oh, I need to watch Mufasa. I was gonna ask for a recommendation. Do we need to watch it? But apparently she does
No,
too.
but you do need to watch it. It's a good movie. It's a really good
I'm
movie.
a big Lion King guy, so I figured it would kind of go along with.
It's good.
First time I heard it, I said, "Is this Lion King?"
Oh boy.
yeah, so I mean, my senior year walk-up like in high school was a SpongeBob song. So I just thought it would be nice to bring it, full circle moment here with my Disney.
So you like to have more of like a relaxed energy. Is that how you lock into the game?
Actually, yes. I think lately I've had Shorty to help me with my confidence, but I think like stepping up into the batter's box, like I love to just like listen to my music, breathe, like do everything I need to do to get settled in, reset my reset button.
And let's talk about that last game, Southern Oregon. Big at bat. You guys had 2 outs already, right?
Yeah.
What was going through your head when you came up?
So actually, Shorty went up to me and said, tell the team what you're going to do at this at bat. And I just said, hit the ball hard. Very unconfidently. But I was very confident this at bat because I felt like I looked good. Everyone believed in me. If they didn't believe in me, I wouldn't have been up to bat at that moment. And they just put the rice ball pitcher back in. So
Yes.
me and Ari looked at each other and we went, huh, this girl. But no, I went up there and I was like, I need an approach. And my approach is going to be hit the ball hard, move your runner. And so that's what I did.
And you definitely showed up and showed out for your team. It was great watching that.
Thank you.
And we're getting a cue for a break. Hawaii Pacific University Athletics is sponsored by Caswell Orthodontics. We change your smile, you change the world. We'll be right back on Sharks Weekly with more insight on Hawaii Pacific University softball.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Sharks Weekly on Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Still here with Coach Lono, Hoku Ching, Marissa Marshall, and Taryn Hirano, talking about what's next for HPU softball. Coach, you've talked about this team's strengths. As we get deeper into the season, what's one area that you want to still continue to improve on?
I think we need to improve on our aggressiveness. Aggressiveness at the plate, aggressiveness on the bases, and of course aggressiveness on defense. The more hungry we get to want to get to that next 60 feet, want to drive in our teammates, attack all of the balls, the easier it becomes. So I really want to see them get a little bit more aggressive as we enter into Pac West.
Is there anything specific that you do to help foster that? Because that's not something that it should come from the players, but sometimes it doesn't always come from them.
No, I think, at this level, it's not about yelling, discipline, all that stuff. That's an old school way of doing things. I think helping them to sort of work on their mental approach and how to really look at it from an IQ perspective sort of helps to mold and build them to be a better player.
And Marissa, defense wins games. You've been solid at third base. How do you prepare mentally for high-pressure situations when the ball is coming your way?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Honestly, I've been very trusting in my defense this year. I don't know why, but every time I am at third base, I'm like, I want the ball to come to me. I hope the ball comes to me. I want my pitcher in the circle to feel like she can trust me every single time I'm at third base. And so I just try to keep my mind calm and, focus on the little things. Like, I feel like you can't win a game without defense. And, I try to perfect that one first. But errors are obviously going to come. And, you just have to, reset, obviously, and, I don't know, keep pushing.
We talked a little bit during the break about how you reset with Mufasa and the song, right? What do you do after, you let your pitcher down or getting that error? What is the one thing that you do to get yourself back?
I feel like I always look in left field. Like, I turn around, I take a deep breath, turn back around, go up to my pitcher, say, hey, I got you this next one. Like, I need her to know that, that was all mental. Like, that was not a physical error. But yeah, that's how I like to reset. Or, pick up dirt, or, because my hand gets sweaty a lot. So, when I throw the ball.
And for us, one of our mantras is, what's the most important thing? And they'll tell you.
The next one.
The next one?
Yeah.
That's a great mentality to have and not harping on situations.
Right.
Taryn, your speed has been a huge asset for this team. What's your approach on the bases, and how do you read the defense to create scoring? Obviously, Coach Shorty helps you with that, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
But how do you approach that?
Well, I never really thought I was fast. In high school, stealing bases was really hard for me. And coming here, I feel like Shorty really trusted me more, and it gave me that confidence to really start stealing more bases. And just getting into scoring position for Lex is really big because I know she'll bring me in. And getting that extra 60 feet will help the team out a lot.
Right, and it goes back to being that aggressive and being hungry, right?
Yes.
And Hoku, as one of the veterans on this team, how do you keep the team focused when the schedule starts ramping up? You guys are starting to gear up for Pac West on the road.
Like, I think the first thing I try to get them ahead of their studies, so like we can focus on softball when we're on the road. And like we do have study hall at times to do study hall, but like it'd be way better if like we could do it before that plane, getting on that plane, so we can lock in, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about business when we leave, and we want it to be that way, but the reality is, they have to bring their studies.
Yeah.
We have to make certain that they're keeping up with their academics, and for some of them who, need to take exams or midterms or, do group work, we got to make that time in order for them to do it.
Yeah. And Coach, you seem to foster really good academic and athlete balance.
Yes.
Right?
Been there, done that. I mean, that's the one thing I'm proud of, is being an All-American academic, All-American. So, I know the struggles that it takes to be a good student athlete and to prioritize your studies before being an athlete. So I expect that. They know that I expect that. And that's what we've built into the foundation.
Actually, that brings up a good question for the players. How much does Coach kind of having the experience of being in the shoes that you guys are now finding yourself in, how much does that help you when it comes to the day-to-day? How much did that help you in your decision to come to HPU? Like, how much did Shorty's background help when it comes to improving you guys and pushing you guys?
And let's not forget the other female coaches I'm surrounded.
Of course.
I mean, we got Coach Stacy Araki, who was also a national champion, Coach Miley Kim, the other national champion, and then we also have added Malia Torres recently, and our two male coaches, but yes.
Having that background that the coaches do have, it makes it way easier to trust and to buy into the program, like just that much easier. It's like they've been there, done that, so they can teach me how to be there and do that. So it's just, yeah.
I also feel like they see our weaknesses before we even see them sometimes. And I know Coach Mai, she would hit balls down the line at third base to me so I could work on diving in my backhand. And so, or just getting extra work in, they know what we should work on and what we should be doing at practice to make us better.
What about you, Taryn?
Academically, it's so much weight off of our shoulders. The seniors telling us it's okay if you guys have class during practice. It's okay if you need to skip practice to catch up on your studies. It's so much easier on us because obviously being that student before the athlete is the most important thing.
Right.
And yeah, that's definitely important. And Coach, we're coming up to Pac West play. Right? We got Western Washington this Sunday. What is one thing that you're emphasizing in practices to make sure that your team is ready for these tough competitions on the road?
Western Washington will be our last non-conference game before we hit the road in March. And this is a team who made it all the way to the national finals last year. Mm-hmm. They've got 3 local kids, one from Eva Beach, Mililani, and Roosevelt. Yes. So it's going to be friendly competition, but at the same time, they've gone all the way to that final match. We did watch a little bit of what they had at the Concordia tournament, but in order for us to prepare for them, it's making certain we do what we need to do and not worry so much about the optics and the other team. So we've tried to really impress upon the team that we don't care about what everybody else is doing. We want to do what we need to do to execute it when we have to.
Right.
With so many new faces this year, how important was it for the coaching staff and really just for the team to face against such tough competition throughout the early portion of this schedule to kind of come together quickly or be forced to come together quickly? Was that something that you guys focused on as a staff as you put together the schedule and whatnot?
Yes, absolutely. And that's part of the strategy in setting up the schedule, is making certain that we could get them to kind of figure it out prior to entering conference play and see what kind of actions that they can do on their own and that we can lend to them, and see what the interactions amongst the team is like before we actually get that starting lineup. Because to date, we still don't have that one lineup that I really want to use going forward.
Gotcha. Is there one thing that at least you've seen from the team so far that you think might set you up a little bit differently? What makes you different from other Pac-West teams, from other Pac-West schools that maybe might give you an edge, or somewhere that maybe even you need to improve on at this point?
There's always room for improvement. I absolutely, try and make certain that every day we're doing something that's helping their skill set, whether it's physical or mental. I think our leading edge is the fact that we play without fear. This is a team where they don't care who they're up against right now. They want to go out there and they want to do their very best, no matter what challenges or obstacles they're faced. I mean, this year they're at a new field, they're at a new complex. They've bought into that. We're going to make it ours, and we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it well.
And Hoku being a super senior, I gotta ask, super senior, right? What is one team that you just have circled on your schedule right now that you're looking forward to playing?
Pac-West wise, all of them. I just want to win all the games. I want to win everything. I have no certain team. I want to be Hilo. I want to be Chom. I want to stomp on Concordia. I want to win everything.
Did she say stomp on
Yes,
Concordia?
she just did.
Coach
friend.
Hoku over here. Oh.
You know what, though? That's a great mindset going into Pac-West, being aggressive, right? Coach talks about you guys being aggressive, and you saying that right now shows your teammates how much you want it, right? Taryn, what about you? Is there any teammates? I'm sure there's a lot of girls that you have friends on Hilo or Chaminade. Is there any team that you're really looking forward to face in Pac-West?
Well, I don't really know the teams, but you kind of no, as a freshman you really want to win every game for the seniors. Everything you do wants to be for the seniors because it is their last season.
Yeah.
And you want them to go out in a bang, and it's just being selfless enough to push yourself to be better for them.
Of course. I don't know how to respond.
That's the
very
cutest answer
sentimental.
ever.
Yeah.
That's a freshman.
Well, right. That's such a mature answer. I'm hear that. I'm now wait a second. It's the freshman here? Oh, goodness.
It's okay. Hold back the tears. Marissa cries at everything.
Oh.
We call that in touch with emotions,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Her emotional IQ is really high.
Oh, Lordy.
And Coach, who do you think is the most competitive person on the team?
One sitting here.
She
And
gotta
then-
be sitting across from me right now.
Well, actually, the two of them are super competitive, but then there's also the pitcher who's listening and probably saying, "Shorty, you better say
Taylor, I know you hear this. Taylor Jean Thompson.
me." Yes.
And Taylor looked really good on the mound the other day. She went the full 7 innings,
Mhm.
right? She finished that game, and it was just great seeing her push through that. Where I'm sure a lot of pitchers do find fatigue in maybe the 5th and 6th, right?
Right.
So with the younger pitchers, how do you think they can go those 7 innings, or do you?
I do, and Taylor's been an outstanding leader on the mound, and she's really taken that role with the underclassmen, because we have 3 freshman pitchers, and we would have had 4, but she's really talking them through the routines, the mindset, and the stuff that they have to improve on, and she loves that role. She's been an absolute stud when she's been in the game, and no matter that she's not feeling her best, she'll give you her best. Yeah.
And
Shout out to Tay.
That's the culture that we're building here at Hawaii Pacific Softball. I'm getting a cue that we have to go to commercial. So Hawaii Pacific University Athletics is sponsored by Kawazoe Group. Kawazoe Group is a proud supporter of Hawaii Pacific University. Stick with us. We've got one last segment coming up on Sharks Weekly.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Aloha, Sharks fans. Welcome back to Sharks Weekly. Wrapping things up with Coach Lono, Hoku Ching, Marissa Marshall, and Taryn Hirano as we turn our focus to Pac-West Conference play. Coach, conference play always brings a different intensity. What do you want to see from this team in the first few games?
I want to see us get out there, hit the ball, run the bases. score the runs, and beat them up. Simple.
Straight up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the point of the game.
Oh. Hoku, you've been through multiple Pac West seasons. What's the biggest adjustment you think for the younger players coming in?
Biggest adjustment, I would say like our biggest goal for each game is to win every inning, because knowing that if we can score one every inning, we're up 7. Like, that's all I need from the freshmen, from the whole team. Like, I need everyone to have that intensity from the beginning all the way to the end, not from the 6th inning to the 7th inning, but from the 1st inning to the 7th. I need energy, intensity, and focus.
And Marissa, what does that look like for you? Keeping that locked in energy throughout the conference play.
Honestly, I feel like, I don't know, I lock in pretty fast. No, I feel like everyone's on board this year, so we'll all be like ready to just get the work done and, go after it. I get locked in pretty quick, I think. As soon as I show up to the field, it's business. We're taking them down, and we're not going without a fight.
I love that. And Taryn, this is your first time going through Pac West conference schedule. What are your teammates and coaches kind of told you to help you prepare for this next conference play?
Mostly just be myself, trust myself, be confident in myself and my teammates, and just work hard, win the game.
See, we start with the big picture at the beginning of the year.
Very big
so
picture.
The big picture of getting to that national championship game all the way down to win the conference, and then it's, game by game, and like Hoku said, inning by inning. Like, we put it down into nice bite-sized chunks so that they're able to have and celebrate a few wins as we get through conference play.
Coach, I know that there are sometimes benchmarks or numbers that coaching staffs want to hit, regardless of sport. Are there certain numbers that you guys look at for whether it's each game or what you want for the season average in terms of, if we're hitting this number, I feel pretty good about what the results are going to be? Are there any statistics that you look at like that?
I think the biggest one is the series win. So, series-wise, we want that 2. Because we've now moved to a 3-game series. There's no question that we're 2-2. It's a split, and we got to do all those other cross-checks. We win 2, we're golden. In terms of like statistics, of course, I want our pitchers to be less than 2, at about 1.5, and we'll get there once we clean up the stats. And then as far as like the hitting numbers, and I know the Pac West highlighted that we've stolen a lot more bases than everybody else, and I'm like, it just feels natural for us to be running and trying to put ourselves into scoring position. But, as a team, I want us to be close to that 300 mark. So, all of the positive signs that you're seeing right now, it's looking like we're trending that way.
Gotcha.
And to be fair, the stats were not my fault, right? Let's just clarify that.
No, it's not your fault. It was the conference tournament.
It was when you guys went to the Concordia tournament.
Yeah, you're right. There's 3 games where Michaela pitched.
I pitched.
I have an L. Hoku pitched and
pitcher.
Trin pitched.
Taylor caught a game and pitched the same game for the different
Just
team.
wanted to clarify that. And I guess, what's a personal goal for each of you guys going into this season? Marissa, we can start with you.
Of course. A personal goal for me, like specifically, like we're talking like batting.
Well, Coach talked about you guys have this big picture and then slowly start to make it into bite size. So let's go with the big picture and then your small personal goal.
Big picture, we're gonna win Pac West.
Bigger.
Oh, we're gonna win national championships. Smaller? Oof, that's a really hard question. I think for me, executing my small ball and just my roles on the field. So like, just getting things done, whatever Shorty wants, like, I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's my goal.
What about you, Hoku?
Besides winning national championships, personally, I just want to find that confidence in the batter's box because like defensively, like I got it locked down.
Definitely.
I have so much confidence with my glove out there in center, but just finding that confidence in the batter's box, and I feel like this year I'm slowly getting it. It's almost there, not there yet, but we'll see.
What about you, Taryn?
Mostly, like, as a team, make sure that we're locked in, we all have the same goal, and just picking everyone up so that we're on the same page. But personally, I just want to be consistent enough to get my team... Wait, what? I want to be consistent enough so that I can help the team win.
Yeah.
We got there.
Yeah, we get it. Paul, do we have any more texting questions?
We
I know
do.
you were saying we had a lot.
I feel bad. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to everything before we get out of here, but I'll try my best. We'll start with this. Marissa, somebody asked, what's your Chili's order? Also, get us sponsored. I don't know if they're talking to us or to you, but I guess we'll go, what's your Chili's order?
Go Teams Chili! No, I love ribs. I can mess up a plate and some fries, and do not forget the little side Caesar salad I get.
True story.
Triple dipper.
All right, good to know. I'm glad we had an immediate one there. What are your guys' favorite meals on the road? Or I guess it's a little difficult to ask the freshmen, but you know, at least the seniors maybe. What are your favorite meals on the road? If Taryn has an answer, she can give one too.
First meal when we land, In-N-Out. It's not my favorite, but I know a lot of else.
Not mine too.
Chipotle like it. They also like Chipotle. Not my favorite. My favorite, BJ's. BJ's.
The Pazookies.
I love Pazookies. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
We haven't done BJ's in a while.
In a while. In a year, but.
Well, the last road trip we went, it was insane. So I was only there for like 2 days. So I only had like In-N-Out and Chipotle. But Chipotle was hidden that trip. Like, can I just say, it was so good.
I would mess up a Chipotle bowl any day of the week. I will beg to go to Chipotle.
They do.
I try not to, but I make Taryn ask to go to Chipotle. So.
What about you, Coach?
Panera,
Oh, that's a good
That's
answer.
a good one. I love Panera.
salad, soup.
Good answer. We're running out of time here, so I'll just give one last question for Coach. As we head into the rest of this season and you know, just going further on, obviously we have next week on our airwaves, HSRN 95.1 FM, AM 760, and HawaiiSportsRadio.com. We'll have your game next week versus Chaminade. Just what's one thing you want to say to the fans who might be listening in, or potential recruits who might be listening in, who are wondering anything about HPU?
Well, thank you, of course, for the interest. We at HPU Softball, we consider you part of the HPU Ohana once you step foot onto our campus and in our program. We're a little bit different. We're not your typical coach talking down to a student athlete. We try to build you up as a student first, athlete second, and try to mold you into a person that's really going to contribute to society wherever you land after you graduate. We're a program built on fundamentals, and you know, all of the girls who've come through, you talk to each and every one of them, they'll say something positive about their experience.
I love that. That's a wrap on this week's Shark Weekly. Huge thanks to Coach Lono, Hoku Ching, Marissa Marshall, and Taryn Hirano for joining us. Pac West play is here, and the team is ready to compete. Make sure you follow along this season, support your Sharks, and catch all the action. You've been listening to Sharks Weekly, broadcasting live from HPU Esports Arena, powered by DSC Hawaii, right here on Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. See you next time.
Woo!